Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. I'm Duckpond Podfic, but you can call me Ducky. Today we are reading a cheeky little one-shot called Floaty Feelings and Swings by drlessy on AO3. No archive warnings apply. Additional tags are pure self-indulgent, implied shindeku, capture weapon used as a swing, parental Aizawa Shota or Eraserhead, parental Yamada Hisashi or present Mike, sad Midori Izuku, anxious Midori Izuku, Ventish, hurt comfort, Aizawa isn't soft, he is, Hisashi has proof. So here's the summary. He stole his sensei's capture weapon, or borrowed it, in order to hang it around a tree and create a makeshift swing, which he was now swinging on very slowly, and staring at the small wooded area in front of him. He wasn't even trying to hide that he took it. He literally just saw it in the classroom behind his teacher's desk, took it, and walked to the forest on campus. He had no real plan, just mindless ambition, maybe. He doesn't know. Or Izuku takes Aizawa's capture scarf and uses it as a swing in order to relieve some of his stress. It works, kinda. So, a little warning, this is my first podfic, so, if I stutter a lot, then apologies. Or if, the voices aren't great, because, you know. Or, the audio gets janky. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at public speaking. But without further ado, here is the one-shot. Izuku wasn't feeling his best. He was 99% sure no one noticed, because it was one of those I'm actually dying inside right now, but I also still have enough energy to be me, I guess. Days. He only broke down once in the bathroom, and there weren't any tears or anything, just a small panic session, and he was good. Well, not really, but at least he didn't hold it in, right? I think my phone just turned off. Okay. He should stop trying to find positives right now, especially since he probably has a death wish right now. AKA, he stole Sensei's capture weapon, or borrowed it in order to hang it around a tree and create a makeshift swing, which he was now swinging on very slowly and staring into the small wooded area in front of him. He wasn't even trying to hide that he took it. He literally just saw it in the classroom behind the teacher's desk, took it, and walked to the forest on campus. He had no real plan, just mindless ambition. Maybe. Izuku's eyes drifted down to the ground, staring at his feet that were swinging in the large space below him, or well, it wasn't too high up, but high enough for there to be a distinctly big gap. He just wanted to feel floaty in a good way, and a normal swing at a normal height where his feet could touch the ground didn't really fulfill that need. The curly-haired boy shifts his gaze to the blue sky. He can see through the leaves, swinging his legs more and letting the breeze hit him gently on his face. He goes back and forth, letting the feeling of flying through the air shove his earlier stress and making him let out a little giggle. It's almost as if he wasn't at school right now, as if he didn't have the world weighing down his shoulders and was living in a universe where he could just be a kid. I don't think that's how you're supposed to use Shota's scarf, little listener. Izuku snaps out of his head just that was slowly falling into a void, and glances down to see Mike Sensei, blinking in confusion momentarily and making the man smile softly. Do you want to come down from there for me? The boy's hands tighten on the capture scarf. Not really, he says quietly, and Izuku looks down, away from Yamada's eyes, slowly falling back into the void he so desperately wants to stay in. to stay on that high up swing in the air and feel less overwhelmed, to feel less like he was obliged to follow what everyone wants, and instead, just for once, to do what he wants. Okay, kiddo. Izuku doesn't process Hisashi walking away, only quietly looking down at his shoes and trying to muster up the will to continue swinging. But the gentleness of his current little motions made it hard to not just sit there in his own head, back and forth, back and forth. Was it symbolic? To be in a line going forwards and backwards, never in a loop, but instead a stupid line of hope that just gets crushed. So he just goes back to the start, trying to hope again, and maybe he was just being stubborn. Maybe this was just life, but it doesn't make sense anymore. What's funny is that he'll feel okay again tomorrow, because tomorrow is a new day and these feelings are just temporary. He knows. Izuku only registers that he's crying when a thumb comes up and wipes away at his cheek. His eyes flicker up to make dark ones. Aizawa. Let's get you down. Okay, kid? Right. He was. Maybe he doesn't want down from this. It's not right. But what is right? But what is right if this isn't? He's so lost. But by God, he does know one thing. Izuku wants a change. So he jumps down and lets his teacher take the capture weapon down, letting himself be led by his hands to the teacher's dorm. So you used my scarf as a capture weapon. So you used my capture weapon as a swing, huh? The tired man questions as he sets Izuku on the couch in his dorm room, looking softly towards his dazed-looking student. The boy only nods, looking over to Hisashi, who was standing nearby, face full of concern but still smiling gently. I used it the same way when I was back in school, you know. Hell. Oh shit, that's supposed to be... I used it the same way when I was back in school, you know. Hell, Hisashi will still use it that way. When I force him to let me, of course, Hisashi comments, chuckling at Shota's light-hearted glare towards him. Yes, well, Aizawa turns back to Izuku and crouches by where he sits, laying a hand gently on his head. Can you tell me why you took my scarf without asking? The tired man questions in a quiet, non-threatening voice, trying his best not to send Izuku further into whatever his mind was currently trapping him in. Izuku leans forward into Aizawa's hand when he ruffles his hair, sniffling softly and bringing up a hand to rub away new tears forming. Kid, hey. Aizawa frowns in worry, scooting over slightly when Hisashi crouches by his side and brings up a soft tissue to wipe at the boy's cheeks. I'm not mad at you for taking it. More impressed, honestly. It's okay. Listen to Sho here, Bean. He usually has that scarf him at all times, and you managed to snatch it. And that takes a lot of talent right there. Hisashi hums, running the tissue very gently over Izuku's eyelids. Izuku soaks in the attention, not quite feeling overwhelmed, but just trying to feel better. I know you might not believe me now when I say it's okay, but it will be. It's okay, Izuku. Aizawa says firmly and blinks when the boy's gaze shoots up to him. You... Izuku chokes out, letting out a small noise when Hisashi takes his hand and squeezes it reassuringly. I know that it'll be okay, and that even when it's not okay right now, that it will be okay. I tell myself that and I believe it, but you... He leans forward slightly, craving a hug in which Aizawa was ready to provide. The tired man wraps his arms around the boy, and Izuku immediately clutches at the man's shirt when with his free hand hiding his face in his shoulder. someone else saying it is just, it's better than hearing it from myself. They stay silent after that for a good few minutes until Izuku pulls away from the hug and looks up at the two adults with a pitiful look. But he does crack a tiny smile. I just took the scarf without really thinking. Sorry, I didn't even see if you were there to see me take it, Izuku admits sheepishly, then stares off to the side. I'm better now, thank you. I'm sorry for worrying you. It's okay, little listener. There's absolutely no need to apologize, yeah? We won't be mad at you for having a bad day, or just not feeling your best in general. Hisashi reassures, making Izuku nod lightly. Exactly what Zashi said. Aizawa pats Izuku's knee just once, smiling at Izuku with one of his rare Dazawa smiles. If you ever feel bad again, just come to me or Hisashi, okay? We don't have to talk, not if you can't. Izuku nods again. Watery eyes releasing a few last tears in which he tries to wipe away on his own. But Hisashi is quicker than that, bringing up another tissue and wiping them away with ease. Izuku mumbles at a very quiet, thank you, which makes Hisashi smile warmly. Then when Aizawa takes off his capture weapon, Izuku tilts his head in confusion, then proceeds to squeak when the scarf is placed around his neck. He blinks, raising his hands to grip at the scarf and look at his teacher with a bewildered look. Your control over it is impressive, at least when it's first swing. Aizawa smirks. If you want, you can go out and swing with it again. Just don't let any of the other problem children touch it. The tired man pauses, seemingly thinking for a moment. If Shizuo wants to swing with you, that's fine. He has his own scarf, though, so don't let him touch mine. He thinks it's different from his own, in which it's not, by the way, but I don't want him to know that so he can figure it out on his own. But isn't that kind of mean, not letting me use the scarf? But shouldn't Shinzo know that your scarves are the same? He should know that you worked just as hard as he's working to learn it, Izuku stutters, head ducking somewhat as he doesn't want to see any glare or... It's more for his own benefit. Plus, I'm almost positive he already knows. Aizawa sighs, but his voice doesn't raise as he ruffles the boy's hair. Again, I promise he'll be fine. The kid knows I'm going hard on him no matter what he thinks or says. Izuku flushes a light red and hides his face a little in the capture scarf in embarrassment, but nods nonetheless. He fidgets with the end of the scarf, eyes staring down at the floor. I don't think I want to swing anymore. Not today, at least. I felt too floaty, like I wasn't there. The boy brings his legs up to his chest, laying his cheek on his knee. You can stay here for a bit then. I'd like to keep an eye on you to make sure you don't go anywhere. Floaty, again, okay? Oh, fuck, that's Aizawa. You can stay here. You can stay here for a bit then. I'd like to keep an eye on you to make sure you don't go anywhere. Floaty, again, okay? Aizawa says, standing when Izuku nods his head as an agreement, and walks around Hisashi towards his room. Izuku watches him go and come back with a fluffy blanket in one arm and a cat in the other, both of which he deposits onto Izuku. Hisashi helps get the boy cozy and settles the kitty cat onto his lap, in which Izuku immediately starts to pet, and visibly lights up when he gets purrs from her. Both of the men seem to sigh in relief as soon as they leave to the kitchen in order to make something for the kid. That was scary in a way. Seeing Izuku so lost and not reacting to either of them for a good bit. It's a good thing Hisashi found him when he did. The boy looked like he would have gotten more lost if he didn't get Shota. But now they have some stuff to work on with the boy. It'll take time, but they hope Izuku will approach them when he needs the comfort and reassurance. For now, however, he can have his swing. As much as Aizawa prefers to keep his capture weapon on him, he can lend it from time to time, as long as it's only to Izuku and not to anyone else who would lose it. He does not trust his class with it. And the next day, when he goes out into the woods to see Izuku swinging with his capture scarf again, this time with permission, he decides to mess with the boy by grabbing the end of the scarf hanging down and moving the scarf so that it's spinning the boy in circles. He at first lets out a startled squeak, but then starts giggling after he realizes it's just his teacher messing with him. And no, his class does not find him pushing Izuku back and forth with just the scarf itself. No hands needed other than hanging on to the end still. And no, they do not try to get a turn in which he denies them but lets Izuku keep swinging all while talking to his friends enthusiastically. The boy needed this more, and quite frankly, the rest of his class can just go to the swings they actually have at a small park Nizu built on campus. He wasn't that soft, you know. He wasn't soft at all. Stop thinking he is. Aizawa wonders if he can make this scarf swing go in bigger circles. Kind of like that one carnival ride. That is the end of this amazing little one-shot. Sorry for all of the mistakes. But I honestly love this. The way I found this podfic was through another podficker. And I love their channel. It is Put Your Hands Up Podfics. I love their channel. They're also on YouTube. If you don't know them, go check them out. But that is it for today. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, night, or whatever. Don't forget to hydrate. If you have meds you need to take, please don't forget to take them. Take care of yourself because you deserve it. But without further ado, have a great day. Bye-bye. Word ending.